Welcome to the Atlas Podcast, where we take the weight of the world off your shoulders. I'm Ryzen,
I'm Tyrus.
and today we're going to be talking about racism.
Today we are also joined with our good friend Hagen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hagen.
Say
My
hello,
apologies,
Hagen.
brother.
What's up?
All right, so this has been a long time coming. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I've got a bone to pick with you and your race.
Yeah, we're horrible. The worst race on the planet.
But for those just listening, and I'm white. Ryzen speaking. Tyrus.
I am black, 75% South African, 25% Western European.
Okay, if we're doing that, I got a lot more percentages to go through. I'm like 2.1% Scandinavian. I'm
go.
like 93.8%. Nah, whatever. Okay, Hagen.
I'm also white.
He just looks Puerto Rican.
He
I
just
have
look-
some, kind of Italian, a little bit.
That's why I worked at Painteros. Y'all wouldn't know what that is, though,
Yeah.
probably.
Mostly white.
Mostly white, kind of Italian. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Off to a great start. Yeah, but no, I've been wanting to have a conversation with you, just in regards to race. Just kind of put everything on the table and talk about things for a minute. Just no bias, no feelings getting hurt, nothing like that. Just solely talking about race and the things that you struggle with, the things that I struggle with, the things that maybe even Hagen struggles with. The things that people struggle with regardless of the race, and especially because of their race. So, to kick things off, I remember there's probably a couple months ago we talked about you had mentioned to me late one night when we were heading out to Walmart that people always lock their cars when you get out of your car when it's like at Walmart. People lock them. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's real shit. It's one of the little most irritating things ever. Because I'm a good thief. Hate to admit it. Great thief. I'm really good at it. So if I wanted to steal your shit, I would have. But I didn't. And I hate it because, I don't know, not all black people steal. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the statistic. I'm not going to get into that. But there's a statistic that more black people steal than white people. I've heard it. I've seen it. Everybody said it. But the most annoying thing to me is, are they locking their door out of just they always lock their door? Because you were there with me.
Yeah, and it was weird. I mean, we watched this. We got out of the car. We parked pretty close to the door, and we got out of the car. Not fucking being loud or anything. And then there's this lady that was walking by. Regardless of what she looked like and the color of her skin, she just slammed her key fob. Man, just
Like
and
four or five times.
Yeah, that
Just
car
kept
just
hitting
kept
it.
honking, and it was letting her know. And at one point, the car was notifying her the door was locked, and then it was screaming that the damn door was locked because she was pressing it so much.
So that shit happens kind of pretty often. And at first, I was like, maybe it's coincidence. Like, they just locked the door and I'm walking by. And then it kind of kept happening, like, everywhere I went. And so, like, I don't know. I picked up on it. And, I don't know. It could be the dreads. Could be the nose ring. Could be the earrings. Don't really know. It could be the 2012 Honda Civic I drive that just making me seem so like I'm gonna steal everything that you own.
I definitely think it's because it's the black Honda Civic. It's too
Yes,
too
yeah.
much black. Going
Nah,
on.
if it
I think
was-
that's what I think.
If it was
that's
like
good.
pink,
If it was pink, you'd attract the wrong kind of crowd. I feel like if it was like it was like a nice like blue. I don't think you'd have that much problem.
that's a true thing. That really happens.
And that's wild to me because like I mean I don't know you for instance I don't like being a I guess it's not politically correct or whatever the fuck to say normal white guy, but like just a typical white Samaritan. I judge people by how they're acting. Less, it doesn't matter what they fucking look like. I mean, if some crazy ass crackhead kid comes up to me and he's sagging pants, fucking wearing chains, he just looks fucking ratty.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock my door.
I'm gonna lock my fucking door. If he's dicking around in the parking lot. But I mean, and I'm gonna do the same thing for a black guy. If he, it's by how they're holding themselves. But you even addressed that your fucking nose ring and tattoos and shit, whether they're visible or not, which most of the time they're not. It's just an immediate reaction, and it's a quite frequent reaction at that.
Yes, indeed. And I don't know. I don't want to get into like other people, obviously, but I know there's a stigma that if some white person is walking on the same side of the sidewalk as a black person, the white person will go to the other side. I've never had that happen to me, but I also think that has to do with melanin. I don't have enough melanin. I'm lighter than a lot of black people.
Melanin. What's that?
Melanin,
Yeah, excuse me.
and like an actual scientific term, is how much color you have in your skin.
Oh, how much like pigment?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's melanin. Like,
I-
you don't have a lot. I have a lot. Hagen has like in between.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I've never
Yeah.
heard that or known that because it doesn't pertain to me because I'm white and superior.
Oh, you're white and superior. That's a whole different race topic.
Different conversation. Now going on the topic of like people acting kind of on guard.
Yeah.
You know, regarding appearance, where they and I don't think it.
Appearance. That's even another point. I don't sag my pants. Like, I don't do any of the typical hood rat shit. I'm not even gonna say black shit because, I mean,
We'll
black
get
shit and
into
hood
that.
shit is super different.
Yeah, we'll get into that for sure. Like I said, appearance. I mean, you dress nicely. You wear, I mean, some of the shit.
Yeah.
You wear nice clothes. I mean, and some nicer than others. But like, I would say pretty normal clothes. Nothing like crazy that would. I don't know what the best way to say it, like trigger a response.
Yeah.
But I've noticed when I graduated high school a couple years ago, I had no tattoos, I had no earrings, no nose ring. I pretty bland, and I was pale as fuck. Still pale, but I added color to my skin, melanin, if you
There
will.
you go.
But when I got my first tattoo, I didn't get an initial response. When I got my second tattoo, people started questioning it. Of course, I have Buddy written on my wrist, and although the artist, amazing man, his name's Jeff Hamm, if you happen to know him, but he's fantastic. It's just the way that it looks when you look at it quick. It looks like it says Daddy, not Buddy. So that triggered an initial response. But as I've collected more and more tattoos, I think I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. I'm at 6 tattoos, and like now I'm getting to the point where people talk to me different. Because I used to work at Sapphire Vapor. You know, it was a vape shop, and I didn't look the part, but I did not look the part. Like I looked like a skinny little white kid that worked at a fucking vape shop, and I had one tattoo, and people would talk to me a certain way. But now I'm still in sales, just at a different place, and now I have much more tattoos. I have the earrings, I have the nose ring. People talk to me different, and it's almost like out of ignorance they don't trust me. Like, whereas like initially I used to wear button ups and like looked, clean, I guess, in a way. People would almost immediately be like, "Oh, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about." But now it's getting to the point where like I don't get that initial trust, I guess,
Right.
which is weird. But that's going on the topic of appearance affecting people's behaviors. But going back to race, what are some of the other problems that you've had regarding, specifically color of your skin, melanin, if you will?
See, I can't even like pinpoint a specific, like my color of the skin is the way that happened, because I'm not that type of guy. I don't know. Like, people don't tell me like, oh, it's because you're black that this. But a big one that I get is I work at Culver's, manager. So a lot of the time something goes wrong, team member come up to me, hey, can I speak to a manager? Or hey, somebody wants to talk to a manager. Cool. So I go up there, and it happens so often. This one guy looked at me, went, laughed in my face, and goes, "You're the manager?" And it's like, I don't know if that's because I'm 18. I don't know if that's because of my tattoos. I don't know if that's because I'm black. But one, how would you know my age? Two, my tattoos, my piercings don't change me from this to this. So it kind of leaves me with, am I black? Is that why you're confused? I'm the manager? Yeah, I'm in power. Yeah, I'm in charge. So that's one thing. I go into stores. This happens a lot. And it doesn't really happen a lot around here, but in stores, I was always told, don't put my hands in my pockets. That's a thing. I don't know if white parents say that.
The people? Like
no,
the
my
workers?
parents told me that, and this is why.
Okay.
They always told me as a kid, don't put my hands in my pockets. Don't put your hands in your pockets. Leave your hands outside your pockets. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if your parents have ever told you that, but I never noticed till I could obviously drive and go to stores on my own. If I walk around with my hands in my pockets, anybody that works at retail does it. Y'all have to. I know the protocol. You kind of keep an eye on people that look sketchy.
Yeah, see, what's weird about that, and then it's funny that you mentioned that. I actually was told the opposite. So, like, when I would go into the store with my mom, especially, my dad didn't do it as much, but when I go into the store with my mom, I mean, like, what do you want to say? It's ADHD or not? Like, I touch shit, man. I'm the fucking guy that runs around and touches fucking every article of clothing in the store because you got to. Yeah, exactly. You got to feel what it feels like, and you're like, I was always told, and like when I go in the store and I start fucking around with shit, my mom would look at me and like, give me that fucking mom look, and she'd be like, put your hands in your pockets. So I was always told the opposite. I was always told, put your hands in your pockets, and you were told not to, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, they think I'm stealing.
And that's bizarre.
But the thing is, I'm not stealing. I have my own money. I make good money. I'm going to buy it. Sorry. So that's one thing. Big problem. Huge problem. I dated a girl. Went to her house. No, sorry. Didn't go to her house yet. I was going to her house.
You like girls?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Just to clarify. Yeah, I'm not a boy like her. Sorry, I'm not a part of that crowd. I was wanting to go to her house so bad. And she wouldn't let me, and I could not figure out why. It was always an excuse. And then finally, she told me it's because my dad won't let me date black people.
What the fuck?
Exactly. What the fuck? And it's like...
And that's, that's not in the fucking 70s or 80s or 90s.
Yeah, this was 2016. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, that's wild that they, like, that stigma's still there. Like, I mean, which is... See, that's where you get into a very, 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 like, what's the word? Like... sensitive topic because that's up to the parents, but like ultimately that's up to the individual. She wanted to date you, she likes you regardless of what you look like, how you dress. It's weird that the parents still have that right to be like, okay, no, that's not happening, I'm sorry. And that blows my fucking mind that is still around to this day, because there's still, I mean, that's what 7, 8, 9 almost 4 years ago. What's the fucking point? But I know there's still people doing that. Still not letting their Kenzo, our roommate, her dad is like that. He's less so, but he still has that like offset to him. Yeah, that like hesitation if she brings home somebody else that's of a different race other than white, of course. That's fucking wild that is still a thing. And so you talked about putting your hands. I mean, what's your typical experience going into a store, like say in the mall?
Depends who I'm with.
Okay, let's talk about that. The people you surround yourself with when you go in.
Depends who I'm with. If I go in with you, it's normally fine. I mean, we get weird looks because we're stupid as fuck, but that's just us doing stupid shit. Like that's not anything. This is even weird. If I go in with Kenzie though, Kenzie dresses like a hood rat. We all do. We all dress like we're hood rats. We wear holes. Well, you don't have holes in jeans, but we all wear holes in our jeans. We wear big sweatshirts, Vans. Like, we look like we're doing something weird. But with you, it's a little bit different. But when I go with Kenzie, my girlfriend, I do get it. I get the look. Like, he might be stealing something to kind of watch on him.
That's fucking annoying.
Now, if I definitely go with another black person, they're on our ass the whole time.
And that's fucking weird.
It's annoying, but it doesn't piss me off because I'm a rare one, but I get it. Understand. If you are raised to be fearful of something, you're always going to be fearful of something until you're taught otherwise. Like, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So, I mean, that's the thing. I wouldn't even say around this, like, society and era that there's racism. I don't think there is. I think there's, right? Obviously, I do think there's racism, but I don't think there's as much as we put on to be. How we call everything racist. Everything's racist. Everything's racist.
Yeah, it's definitely a very sensitive society now.
It's just everything's kind of black and white to people. Everybody's stereotypical. It's not that it's racist. They're either uneducated, uncultured, or just stereotypical. Because racism and the point blank meaning is believing one race is superior to the other. Point blank vocabulary meaning is one race is superior to another one. And we changed it to supremacy. And we used racism as black people are this, black people do this, which is really just stereotypical.
Okay.
Which we need to break, obviously.
Okay, so going on the societal premise of that, I had watched a movie the other night called The Black Klansman. Technically, it's called the Black K Klansman, so it's three Ks lined up, which is cool. I think, don't quote me on this. I think it's directed and written by Jordan Peele, amongst somebody else I didn't recognize. I know Jordan Peele had a. His name is Jordan, right? First name, okay, just making sure.
That's racist.
It's racist.
Not every black guy's name is Jordan.
I know for sure he had a play in this movie, but the movie premise, and I don't know if you two know, but the movie premise is I think it's set in like the 70s, and it's a black cop. He's got the big perfect afro. He's got the weird wide collar shirts. Man, he rolls into this precinct, and he asks for a job. They put him as a pencil pusher. He's the guy that the cop will go to, and he say, "Hey, I want this. I want a file on this person." He would go grab that file and then give it to him, right? Well, he wanted out of that. So what he ended up doing was he went into investigation and intel, and so he actually ended up going to a Black Power movement, or a Black Panther rally. It was like this, they did it in like a college, and it was this guy talking, and they keep at the end, towards the end of it, he's shouting Black Power. Everybody's shouting Black Power, and then the main character, he kind of looks within himself, and then he raises up his fist reluctantly, and he starts saying it. Fast forward a little bit into the movie, he joins a little spoiler alert, but he joins
spoiler alert. Skip.
He joins the Ku Klux Klan. But what he does is he takes another character from the movie, and he pretends to be him in person, and then he's the one, the main character is talking to them over the phone. So there's two Rons. That's the main character's name is Ron, and there's two Rons in there playing out. But the whole thing is it's showing the whole time the movie, and without spoiling the whole movie, they're showing both sides of the argument. Black power and white power. They're going head in hand, and at one point during the movie, they're literally showing scenes of two different rallies, both from black people and white people, and what they're saying and how they're coinciding. And ultimately, it comes together in a pyramid of you're all arguing the same fucking thing. And shows the extreme sides of both. Granted, and I'll give it to them, the Black Panthers were very, very relaxed. The Ku Klux Klan, a bunch of fucking rednecks together with some guns, man, they get a little bit...
get your pitchforks, get your torches ready.
What's the word? Loud. They get loud.
Let's fuck these black kids up.
So they start talking, it goes on. It's really nice. But, this is a huge spoiler alert. At the end of the movie, they played the wreck, the 2017, and I say it happened I think it happened August 12th, 2017. I might be fucking wrong, but it was in August 2017. There was a rally in which a guy, I believe it was a white man, but of course it's tinted windows, but he was driving a Challenger and he ran through the crowd. Did y'all hear about that?
No.
So it was All Lives Matter. No, it was Black Lives Matter. Because All Lives Matter is the white people's protest to the black people's protest. Joyner Lucas said that very, very well. But they were doing this. They were having a peaceful rally, and they were all, they were kind of blocking the street, but there was no other cars other than this one car. So they were on some kind of side stretch, and they were walking, doing their movement, and then all of a sudden this fucking Challenger came out of nowhere and just bulldozed through at least 10 people, and one girl ended up dying. Well, they played this at the end of the movie because the whole thing, the movie ends, right? And like most movies end, it ends on a high note. Everybody's like, yeah, you won, you did good, whatever, everything's great. And then it goes on for another 10 minutes, and it's just all different kinds of footage, and it's showing raw footage. This bitch is actually getting run over by a car. And it shows little bits of interviews of people being like, hey, what happened? And it cuts right into it, and they're like, oh my god, this girl just came in, she was on the side of the road, we leaned her over and she died in our arms. And it's fucking nuts. But the whole point was we're still the fucking same. You guys have been laughing about this shit, how extreme this is, and I know exactly what he was going for. He's like, hey, this is how this was, and this is crazy, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Still fucking doing it.
And he's like, yeah, and we're still fucking doing it. Why, guys? He wanted that kind of internal conversation to be had between and amongst ourselves. So one big question I have, because I believe core in just the sentence that it holds. I believe in all lives matter.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the movement because, like Joyner Lucas said in "I'm Not Racist," his song was "Your protest is a protest of mine," or
What
something.
kind of shit is that?
Yeah, which is nuts because like it really is. I believe in the word. It's like Black Lives Matter. I believe in that sentence and that movement. All lives matter. I believe in that saying. Just the sentence more.
Yeah. Let me answer you. Chanting Black Lives Matter isn't saying, "Hey, only Black Lives Matter," and I think that's where the stigmatism comes in. With when you see somebody chanting Black Lives Matter, they don't care about anybody else but themselves. No. So let's put it in this terms. Cancer, it's a horrible thing. Terrible. In October, we celebrate what? Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right?
Okay.
Now imagine going to a gathering, a meeting, and you're chanting breast cancer, like breast cancer awareness. We need this. We need money. Woo! And then an opposing side comes to you and is like, all cancer matters.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it takes away from the initial.
Yeah, it's like, yes,
initial
you're
argument.
you're 100% right. All lives do matter. That's true facts. But right now, in this point in a specific time, we're talking about this. Why are you protesting this? If you want to start another protest for all lives matter that's going against all races, fuck yeah, let's do it. But why are you at this moment protesting my protest? Like it doesn't coincide well.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong. There's radicalists on either side of the spectrum. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy. There's black people that are burning cities down for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that's.
It's fucked up. It's like, okay, you want to make a movement. Why are you burning your city down? Now you look worse. Like they already don't like you. Whatever.
I do that shit too.
Why are you making yourself look worse than you already do? And then there's obviously the white side. Let's burn the black person's houses down or fucking shoot them or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
It's on both sides. Like, it's both parties' fault if you're talking black and white.
Okay.
And that's just stupid. But yeah, that's the all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter thing. I think it's a really bad stigmatism that Black Lives Matter means only Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it's not initially what I thought, and I'm sure there are people that do think that, which is kind of fucking nuts, but
Very simple-minded.
It's just, I don't know. Like, I see it from my only one true perspective, which is my own. I see it from my perspective, which is just all these people arguing and fighting and bickering for no fucking reason. And I had this dream the other day. I was, take a walk with me. It's a little weird. It was a dream, and it was heavily influenced by
We smoke weed.
We smoke weed. Sorry.
Sorry.
My bad.
Call me a fucking pothead. I like bud.
Anyway, yeah. So I smoked, and I smoked a lot. So I had a really fucking colorful dream, and the dream was I had the ability through study. I went to study somewhere, and I had the ability to see negativity. Like, visibly see it. Okay. Because I remember watching, there's a show called Limitless, and like there's a point where
Good fucking show. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Go watch it right fucking now. Great show.
It's so damn good. But anyway, Limitless, he takes the pill, right? And you probably remember it, where he can like see smell as color. Yep. And you can visibly see it, right? Well, it was the same concept. Like, I could see negativity, and like it followed the red spectrum. So the more like purplish black it got, the worse it was. And it started off as like a rosy pink, right? Right. And so like I remember like I was going to different countries because I was studying in like some weird country, and like I remember in the dream I was flying over like coming back to the States, and like at one point we like went through a cloud, and like all I could see was black. and like it was just like everything was black, and like it was almost like smog, like just or like not even smog, like there was a fire lit on the ground everywhere, and it was just black smoke irradiating from the ground, and it was weird. And so I remember landing, and like the airport was just fucking black and purple and just gross looking. Everything was just nasty looking, and I went into I went home, and I remember talking, and I remember talking about it, and like, how do you not see this, and blah blah blah, and like how, and like I guess like it was in my own way. My brain was like, how are you not seeing this? Like, how do you not visibly see all this shit that's going on? And it kind of like reopened my eyes, I guess. But I ended up like going to some public place, and I remember seeing like this one person, and I don't remember if it was a girl or a boy. I don't remember what color they were. I remember it's just an individual, and it was just white. It was just a white like beacon, and that's the kind of thing is like that white white light that was radiating from them was the opposite of the negativity, and they were talking to people, and then things started getting brighter and like getting more red, and then closer to white, and closer and closer and closer. Everything got prettier, I guess. And that's where like I kind of like saw it, like all these people are like, it only takes like one person like Gandhi or Alan Watts and
Nelson Mandela,
somebody that's like that is that like beacon of like. But that's the thing in the days world, especially with all the people. I mean, like we're victims. We're subjects of it. Creating a podcast. There's so many voices out on the internet, and I feel like if the time is given and the right people are heard, it's gonna get better. And it's just a matter of people kind of taking that step back and looking for that person that's shooting up a light.
It's not even just a matter of that. It's a matter of one of my favorite rappers, J. Cole, said that history repeats itself, and that's just how it goes. We have to do better. Simple as fuck, we have to do better. Because we're not looking at where we were, and we're not looking at where we could be. We're only looking at where we're at. The only way for progress to happen is to look at where it failed first. And it clearly failed, and then it failed when we first came to America. We fucked up off the jump, and then it failed again, and then it failed again, and we're still failing. So maybe we should try something different so we can succeed. It's going to take literally just kind of everybody to take a step back, look, and be like, well, fuck, like we got to change something.
Yeah, and that's what ultimately is tearing me up is like I could scream and shout to the top of my fucking lungs everywhere I go, but at the end of the day, if the message doesn't meet the passion, it's not going to matter, and it's finding both, because that's one thing that a lot of the motivational speakers in our life, Martin Luther King Jr., fucking Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, fucking Hitler. He had the message and the passion. He had the right words assembled in the right way, and he had the right, feeling behind it.
Motivational for the wrong reasons.
Motivational. I'm not trying to say Hitler's a fucking nice guy. Just simply saying that like that's what it's going to take is somebody saying the right words in the right order with the right feeling behind it, and that's what's going to change it. And I feel like, truthfully, that Joyner Lucas had a good idea. And the execution was great, but it wasn't what I don't know if it wasn't what we needed, if it wasn't the right
what
timing.
we needed at that point in time.
But like it incited a lot of conversation. Yeah. It blew the fuck up, and I think the last time I looked at it, it had like almost 50 million views. It's like fucking insane.
No, it's got more than that.
Does it?
Yeah,
now?
It's sitting in the 100 mils.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. But again, that's what I'm saying is like it's gonna take the right formula to
Pause. The video we're talking about is "I'm Not Racist" by Joyner Lucas. If you haven't seen it, go watch it on YouTube now.
Oh, absolutely, go.
It'll change your life. It's a good video.
Yeah, it's a damn good video, and it really, for myself, it inspired me to have this particular exploration. But anyway, okay, so we kind of sidetracked a little bit. Let's bring it back. Talking about things that you deal with on an average life. So talk about me for a second. When I go, and I kind of going off that like salesman shit where like people would look at me different because of my tattoos and like how I'm dressed, and like I don't, for the audience, I don't fucking wear gross clothing. Like he said I look like a hood rat. I think I look like a nice suburban white boy. wear fucking white Vans, Doc Martens, doesn't matter. Fucking always jeans, never have holes in them. Fucking plaid, button-up shirt of some kind. I have a button-up shirt of some kind, but I don't know. I don't dress nice and I don't dress gross. Like I just dress, and I don't think I look any particular one way. But I've gotten to the point now where I attract a different kind of crowd, which is weird. Very, very strange.
Could be the tattoos, could be the piercings, could be the earrings.
It could be all of them. I mean, just kind of combined. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like talking to fucking anybody. I don't care. Like, I'll hold a conversation with fucking anybody. That's how I get most of my friends, is just talking about stupid shit.
Here we are.
And here we are. But I think what ultimately gets me is the fact that like when I go sit down at a restaurant now, like the waitress treats me differently. Oh, that's a good fucking instance. So I call everybody love, right? Or I call girls love. Like, hey, how you doing today, love? Just simple. Like, I'm not like, what's up, sugar mama? Like, I'm not saying it like that. It's just a word. Like, I call guys buddy or man or dude. I don't know. Just, what are the pronouns?
Pronouns.
Yeah, so pronouns. Fuck, I'm stupid.
Yeah, we fucking go with the pronouns. Different topic for a different time.
But pronouns. I mean, like, I just address people at different pronouns. But I call girls love, and I don't know why. I think it's just classy. I don't know. I heard it somewhere and I fucking liked it, right? And so I was doing my job, I'm working, at Staples, and fucking just talking to people as I'm walking around, and this little old lady was sitting there. And I really do it with older ladies. And I think because love is like, kind of an older noun or pronoun. And I, like the same reason you wouldn't like walk up to saying like you, for instance, Cyrus, you wouldn't walk up to somebody and be like, "What's up, my brother?"
Yeah.
Like, "What's up, brother?" You don't say
up, brother?
you don't say like my brother anymore. But that was like a big thing in the 70s. But I say love, and I just walked up to this lady, and same shit I always do, and same shit I have done for years, with the addition of tattoos and piercings. And it was right after I got my nose piercing, and I walked up to this old lady, and she was probably 60 or 70. She was looking at ink on the wall, and I was talking to her, and like, I was like, "Hey, how you doing today, love?" And just immediately fucking lost her mind at me. Like, not even a second hesitation, just started yelling at me. "You can't fucking say that," and blah, blah, blah. And this is like a little old lady. Like, dude, she's like half my fucking height. And she's just yelling at me and just fucking letting me have it. "You can't fucking say that's so disrespectful," and blah, 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 blah. And like, I don't know. I got to the point where like all I could fucking say was like, "I'm sorry." Like, I did, like, because it took me so back. Like, I did not mean anything negatively. I just meant it. I meant it in a very like, a very passive sense. But like, dude, she blew the fuck up, and like, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna victimize myself, but I really, really feel like it's because of the way I look now. With my hair growing out a little bit, and my fucking, I don't have that clean preppy boy bullshit haircut anymore, and I got all these piercings and tattoos, and I feel like that's what's ultimately doing it, because, I'm it's just as bad, I guess, in my own right. Like, there are people that, and we keep talking about other people, but we do it too, and we know we do, where somebody walk up to me, and for instance, I do this shit all the time. I get some fucking dude in a suit, and he's walking up. Now, I have a very, very strict motto when it comes to respect. I always give everybody the same amount of respect. You can gain it, you can lose it. You lose it, it's pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Period. But when it comes to, I had a guy that came in, and he was all dressed real nice. He was on his phone. I said, "Hey, how you doing today?" And he just held up his finger at me, right? And I was just like, immediately, I was like, "Fuck this guy. You think you're better than me?" Blah, 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 blah. And I like, just like, I got angry. And I was like, why the fuck am I so angry? It doesn't matter. And like, it took me for a fucking loop, because I'm like, I don't know why the fuck I'm so angry. But like, I do that shit too, where like, if a guy like, fucking take any vape shop, for instance, and it was kind of stereotypical, and it will get to that point where it's stereotypical, but like, you go into the vape shop, you got somebody who's tatted up, you got somebody that's got earrings with it, and maybe gauges, most of the time, and you go talk to them, and you're like, "Oh, this guy's fucking cool." But little Miss Susan goes in there, and she's got her, a nice fucking what are they called when women wear suits? What are those called?
Pantsuits.
No, power. Is it pantsuits or power suit?
It's pantsuits.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, they're wearing the pantsuit, right? And they walk in there and like, no, well, Miss Susan might not get along with Jerry that has fucking gauges and a fucking neck dragon
Because
tattoo.
she think Jerry ran over a cat last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't. What the fuck? But like, I don't know. It's weird that we have like these stigmas because like, I've like kind of looked at myself in the mirror and I look like the guy that I wouldn't talk to in high school.
I am the kid I would not associate with. When I was like when my parents told me I don't want you hanging out with those kids, I'm that kid now.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody said it to me the other day. It was some guy I work with. His name's Jeremiah. Jeremiah, and we were fucking talking, and we were just bullshitting, and he was like, "You look like the guy that fucking climbs in through the girl's window." He's like, "You look like the guy Daddy's worried about." I think that's what he said, and that fucking took me for a loop. I'm like, "Oh my god, I do! Like, I look like that fucking guy now." And like, I don't know, like I said, I'm a super friendly guy. Like, I'll fucking go talk to anybody, but like, I still do it. I don't know. And that's a good conversation. I was about to say, I used to say I'm colorblind. I don't say it anymore because of what you said about it regarding colorblind. And, you know, for those who don't know, colorblind being, you know, people who say they don't see color. They don't see black. They don't see white. They don't see Asian, Hispanic. They don't see it. You know, they're colorblind, which is not a bad way to live by any means. But I don't think it's 100%. I don't think it's right.
Accurate.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good 100% good way to live. I feel like you need to see the color a little bit, and it's not like, I don't know. I mean, in a literal sense, like a guy comes and robs you, like you're giving a police report. What do you look like?
He was a man.
He was a man. He was tall. Okay, skin color. I'm colorblind.
I don't know. He had more melanin than me, but less than you.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like fuck, you can't
bro,
say
he was fucking
shit
black.
like
Like,
fucking melanin.
He was black. He was brown. He was white. Like,
That's our word of the
fucking
day.
Say it.
Melanin.
Yeah, word of the day today.
Melanin.
Melanin.
But yeah, like that fucking. I don't know, dude. Like there's a healthy balance to. Ooh, that's gonna sound like shit. There's a healthy balance to it all, and I don't know. Like I don't think there's. And I want to hear your honest opinion. And Hagen, if you want to chime in, is there a problem in being like? See me and my black friend the other day. I mean my friend. No, like hold on. I said that the real wrong way. So I was talking to this guy the other day, and this black dude just walked up to us.
Okay, here's my thing on that.
Okay.
It's different with a lot of black people, but here's mine. I don't like being called African American. They're different people. And I say that because African American, the term is from Africa to America. You migrated, you immigrated, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You moved from Africa to America. I'm black. I was born here. I'm not African American.
So
I'm American. I'm like straight up American. That's just what it is. So I'm black. We go by color. Don't call me brown. Like that, not racist. It's annoying. I don't like being called brown.
See, that's another thing. Is like literally you are brown.
Yeah, literally,
like, 100%
yes, I am
you
brown.
are brown. Like just as his hat is blue, you are brown.
It's just annoying. I'm black. Call me black. Group me in with everybody else.
But it's also weird. Like if you think about it, like I'm white, but I'm not. Like I'm
But
like
you're not
off
white.
white, peachy.
You're like peach. That's the crayon.
But like, yeah, dude, that's a whole different.
Give me the skin
conversation.
color one. No, give him the peach one, bitch. Like, don't give him the skin color one. That's not my skin color. Give him the peach one.
But I don't. Okay, so yeah, so going back to it, you don't have a problem with it, or you do? And
I don't have a problem with you describing somebody as black. I think that's description. If I was talking about you, I would say, hey, I went the other day and some white dude came up. There's no problem with that, so why is there a problem with black?
Okay.
There should never be. Black should not be a word that people are scared of.
And I've had I'll get into that. I'll get into that because like I still have genuine fears about it, and I'll get into that.
And if you're scared of saying black, say a person of color. It's the best next option. If you don't
I
really,
feel like that's weirder.
No, if
like
you
it's
re-
like it's like calling somebody like retarded or calling them mentally
ill. Yeah.
ill or handicapped.
Here's
Like,
the thing: if you're reading somebody, like you're kind of reading their vibe, everybody does it, and if you can't, you need to learn. You're reading their vibe. If you could tell that they're very like pro-black activists, probably don't call them black, just because. I personally don't even know how they would react. I would go with, yeah, a person of color came up to me the other day.
Okay.
But don't call them a colored person. because I don't really understand. I wouldn't want to be called a colored person just because
Yeah,
I
see,
feel like you're segregating me now. But
Well,
a
yeah,
person
like-
of color,
So this mentally
kinda-
challenged kid came up to me the other day, or like this retarded kid.
yeah,
like
it's
you know,
kind of like that.
and like don't get me wrong, like retarded is like it's its own argument, but I just genuinely feel, and this is like the ultimate feeling when it comes to this shit, is like it doesn't fucking matter.
Nah.
Period. Like if you genuinely you come to me and I'm like, hey, this is my black friend Tyrus, like cool. Maybe that's a little weird to say in conversation, or like even if you were like, I don't really like
Maybe
that.
don't use their skin color first.
Yeah, like I don't really like that. Okay, you got it. But I feel like if you're explaining a story, like my black friend was explaining what dreads are, you're like, okay, so you're probably learning for somebody with experience, or like who knows what the fuck they're talking about. You know, some white guy was like, so what's the fucking different types of hair? I forgot.
It's like, dude, it goes nuts. But I have 4C.
Yeah, so like my friend has was talking to me about this guy with 4C hair, and I'd be like, oh, fucking what?
He's got to be black.
Yeah, like, you sure? He's white.
It's got to be black.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It feels like it has a description. Like my dad. This is kind of like off topic, but my dad, like years and years ago, and something that's always stuck with me. He said, if I see two individuals working at the same place, and I see one guy wearing a suit and he's got graying hair, and he's all clean cut. There's another guy who's younger. He's got, his hair's longer and he's wearing a suit, but it's kind of loose on him, and he doesn't have a tie or something like that. He goes, I'm gonna go to the older guy with the nice clean cut suit. I was like, okay. I was like, I understand that. And I was like, why? And he said, because of experience. He goes, he looks like a man of experience. I said, okay, let's argue the same thing. Roles reverse. The younger guy has way more experience. He's been working here for 5 years. The older gentleman's working there for like 6 months. You know this going into the conversation. Who do you lean toward? My dad said the old man. And I like took me away. I was like, I don't understand. Like
You just said it was experience, and now you're basing it on
yeah, and he
appearance.
backed himself up a little bit, and I was like, okay, well that doesn't make any sense. Like if you're gonna argue one thing, let it be one thing. My dad's a very, very intelligent man. He's very, I look up to him a lot. But like that, I do not like that, because I had that problem in Sapphire where like somebody would come up to me and they would look at me and they would look at my manager, who was much older than me, or not much older, but she was middle aged, and they would look at her and they would go to her. They'd be like, he knows what he's talking about. Or Kyle, who is balding with a big ass bushy beard. He's a big guy. He's in his 30s. They would look to him, not look at the 18-year-old punk ass kid. And like that blew my fucking mind. Is like, I know just as much about Kyle. I know just as much about her. I know just as much about these people, like about these products. Granted, Kyle has worked in the vape industry longer than me, but at that particular point in time, I'd worked longer at Sapphire, so I knew our products better. I knew our juices better.
Right.
And then went to them. And like that blew my mind. And it's like, and it wasn't until I was given the opportunity to talk to these people and talk about myself and talk about the products that I was given that chance, which I think is crazy that we're not given that chance. And I feel like a lot of people, and going back onto the race thing, I feel like a lot of people, it could be the argument could be the same of two people working there. If you're a white person going to buy a car, and you see a white person and a black person as your car salesman, who are you going to lean towards? And that's a question we all need to ask ourselves. And fucking why? Why are we going to lean to one particular person?
When we have no idea about either of them.
Yeah, exactly. If I talk to fucking, John, the black salesman, he's got graying hair, and I'm talking to him about a particular model that I was looking at, and he was, he's just going on and on and on and on and on and on, and like he's like fucking blowing me out of the water with the amount of knowledge he has on it. And I talked to Kyle beforehand, and Kyle doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Well, I'm gonna go to fucking John. Like
John clearly knows more.
John knows what the fuck he's talking about, and like, but if the argument's made the same, but roles reversed, John's black and doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Kyle's white and knows what the fuck he's talking about. I don't want to be seen weird by John if I go to Kyle and I talk to Kyle and I talk to them both, because I know I have to know what they know, and I go and I'm like, I'm gonna go with Kyle. There are people that are Johns in our world that are like, fuck, he didn't pick me, stupid ass white boy.
Yeah.
And the argument can be the exact same, all genders, that's a whole different podcast. All races swapped, and fucking he's not gonna pick me because I'm white. Yeah, same shit.
Yeah.
Which is fucking stupid.
It's retarded. Maybe not say that just quite yet. It's fucking dumb, because, like, in all seriousness, if I know more than you, I would want them to talk to me white or black. if you know more than them, I'm gonna want to talk to you. Like, I could care less what you look like. I could care less where you've been, what you've been through. If I'm looking to do something and I need advice, I'm going to the one who knows more. Not because they're white, not because they're black, not because they're a woman. Because I went into Men's Warehouse looking for a prom suit and a woman came around the counter. Was I kind of a little skeptical? A little bit. But then she started talking. And I was like, oh shit. I'm definitely gonna like go with you around this whole store to figure it out.
And that's where I believe the change should happen. And quite literally right there of we individually, you, me, Hagen, the people listening, the people next door, we all individually need to stop doing that. Give everybody the shot. Those who prove themselves, those are the ones that we need to, because it's going to incite competition. It's going to incite motivation to be better. If I'm speaking from personal, if me and Hagen are sitting next to each other, oh, but better yet, we'll take it back to Culver's. If I'm the manager, you're a manager, we're both managers,
Right.
And I go to talk to somebody, he says, no, I want to talk to him. Or no, I want to talk to Ryzen because he's white. You know, like they're not gonna fucking say that. But
Yeah.
Going back there, I completely lost my fucking train of thought. I completely lost my fucking train of thought. We as individuals both of us need to be in that present moment of time, regardless of what the customer's
We
skin
need to
tone
be an
is.
equal opportunist. It's one of my favorite things to say.
It needs to. You need to be given a chance. I need to be given a chance, and neither one of us needs to get our feelings hurt if they pick the other person. That should incite competition and motivation to be better. Obviously, it doesn't need to be. He didn't pick me because I'm not white. No, it should be. He didn't pick me because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You need to
I
take
need
a
to
look
get better.
inside and figure out what you need to do
We as
more.
individuals need to give. As an individual, I need to give other people chances. Go with the obvious better choice, and this is something I'm leading into. Go with the obvious better choice. And I, as myself, need to ask, okay, he didn't pick me. It's not because of how I look. It's not because of the color of my skin. It's because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I need to be better. And I feel like that in itself, the industries that we're in are going to improve because we're going to be working harder. And I feel like the world itself will just be a little bit nicer.
I mean, I see that firsthand at work, though. Say we go through a rough night. It's food industry, for anybody that's worked in it, you get some rough nights. And I'm handing out what we call Butterbucks. It's basically $1 only in Culver's eyes. So you can, like, team members, they don't get free food. Sucks. You get half off. But you can get free food with Butterbucks. You earn them doing this, and that. So I'll go handing them out to people. Now, I'm not going to hand them to everybody because, I mean, that's taking money out of our pockets. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give it to everybody. And this happened once before. I handed it to an employee, and then I didn't hand it to another one. They said, why? And I said, well, because they worked hard. And they said, no, because you're more friends with them. And I was like, no. No, it's not because I'm more friends with them. They did this. You just kind of sat there. I'm an equal opportunist. I give everybody the same opportunity. It's the people who come forward and do more that get my attention. I mean, if you're not doing shit, then, I mean, I'm not going to... If I'm looking to buy a car and I want a Mustang, I'm probably not going to talk to the person that's really getting me trying to buy a Chevy.
Yeah, that's fair. And that boils down. I mean, like, everything can be boiled down to different segments. I mean, like, he's nicer to her because she's a girl. You know, she's a cute little girl. You know, shit like that. Or she could be black, and that could be the reason. Or she could be skinny, and that could be the reason. And I'm like, and everybody's so fucking sensitive nowadays. And
it's fucking horrible.
And, like, people are going to get offended by damn near everything I say, everything we say, everything anybody fucking says. And somebody's going to... There's the majority of the way that people are, and I say the majority, and that's not entirely accurate. I shouldn't say that, but most people are going to get upset about something that is said. And it really should be like, you offended me because you said something like, you're a stupid, fucking ignorant piece of shit. Ouch. I'm sorry. Damn, that hurt.
That was kind of fucked up.
But you're white. Oh, God. Like, oh, man. Whatever will I fucking do? Like, it's just... I'm sorry. Like, so going on to fear. And this kind of segues into that. Going on to fear, being afraid to say black. With you, nah, I couldn't give a shit. Like, Titus, you're black. Oh god,
Fuck, never knew.
never knew. Fuck you, damn. Like, it just fucking. But when it comes to like, say like, okay, well, I'm not gonna say it to a fucking customer at work, right? You know,
Right,
I'm not gonna,
right.
That just seems.
There's a
bit-
place.
that seems
There's a
bit
time and a
inappropriate.
place.
Well, no, I will, because I did. There's a guy, and it goes on with the vibes, right? You know, we're talking about people, you know, vibing with people, and if you can feel the vibe, you can see the kind of person they are, right? So I'm talking to this guy, and he's, you know, doesn't matter what he's wearing. He's a black guy, and we're talking about networking. We're talking about, like, he wants to reroute his internet. I don't know, fucking, it doesn't matter. Talking about shit. I know what I'm talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's impressed by how I'm talking. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I complimented his shoes. Because, like, you've been teaching me about shoes and stuff. And I complimented his shoes because he had really nice fucking, they're not, oh, shit, I'm disappointed in myself. They're SBs. They were SBs. They were Nike SBs.
Nike SBs.
But they were pretty. They were really, really pretty. And they were like they were like a really nice gray with, like, an orange running through it. They were just clean. He looked clean. But I complimented his shoes, and he was like, "Oh, fucking thanks, man." I said, "You should have seen this other black guy that rolled in today." Or he rolled in. It was the day that guy walked in. He was wearing an all black suit, black tie, black shirt, black everything, black trench coat. He had fucking gold rim Ray-Bans on, and his hair was all fucking like perfect. Just like he had a good fade going. He just looked fucking clean. And I said just like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are gonna miss out what I said. I said, "You should have seen this on the black guy walk in." At that moment, I wasn't afraid, but like. I don't know. There's certain I can't come up with them at the top of my head, but there's certain contexts where it's like I'm genuinely like uncomfortable because like I know the best way to say it is just say the motherfucker's black, but like it's hard for me to like come out
Let
and
it
say
go.
that. Exactly. Like say for a cop, for instance, you're like you get.
I won't call a cop. I'll call him a police officer.
Okay, let's talk about that. Why?
Scared. It doesn't feel right. It feels disrespectful. I'm not scared of cops. To get that out the way. As a black guy, everybody's like, "How you should?" No, I'm not scared of cops. I think a lot of I'm not even gonna say a lot. I think a lot of people get killed by police officers: black, white, Mexican, Asian, everything.
Stupid people get killed for stupid reasons.
Yeah, I do. I believe police brutality. I think that's real. I just think that the ones we air are horrible. That's all.
And I agree with
if
that.
we aired all of them, it would be normal to us. But it's only we air the ones that are completely and utterly wrong, and then we blame every cop for doing stupid shit when it's not every cop. It was those four.
And that's why I like Live PD. Is like
Yeah.
it shows how much of it is controlled by the TV industry. I don't know, but a lot of what they show is all kinds of different situations. And we saw a fucking crackhead white family. There's a whole fucking family. It started with the son and something with a dog.
Yeah, the dog got out.
The
and
dog
was
got
barking,
out
and the
was-
cop told him to get the dog.
Yeah, the son was asked to get the dog. Mama was getting mad
Because the
Getting
son was
frustrated.
mad.
And keep in mind, they're all white. They're all these like fat fucking white people. And like when you think, and like excuse my stereotype, but like I don't give a shit. You get offended by this, fuck it. Like fucking stereotypical, just trailer park trash. looking
Mountain
people.
Dew meth family.
Like just Mountain Dew and meth, man. Like they were fucked. And son started getting agitated and blah blah blah. He started cussing out the cop. Mama started getting into it. Cop told the son stop acting aggressively, or I will detain you. Not arrest, detain. There's a very fine difference.
A lot of people think they're getting arrested. They just are in handcuffs because they want to make sure you're controlled.
Yeah, they want to make sure you're just down and you're fine, right? And anyway, it all boils down, and the fucking family starts getting into it, and they start mailing. Fucking 2 more cop cars show up. Fucking 6 more cops jump out. You know, they start fucking getting into it, and Mama goes down. She was taken down. Big Bubba Joe comes up, man. Bald motherfucker. He's got to be like 6'7". He's a cop. He just fucking comes out. And he pushes over the guy holding back Mom. And he gets arrested. Mom gets arrested. Dad does some shit when Mom gets arrested. Dad gets arrested. And the son gets arrested. So everybody got fucking arrested for a dog getting outside and barking. Because they were all acting a fucking fool.
And I think that's what a lot of, I think that happens like a fuck ton. Like, I've literally visibly watched all these videos that go viral of cops doing all this fucked up shit. And yeah, the cops do take it too far, but the initial that they have is true facts. Sometimes. I'm not going to say all, because I've seen some of the videos, I'm like, ooh, you really weren't doing shit and you still just got shot. Okay. But I've seen a lot of them like visibly resisting, screaming, "I'm not resisting," and then they get tased or they get punched or some other shit, and they're confused.
Yeah.
Like the cops screaming at you, "Hey, bro, just put your hands behind your back," easily, and they're like fighting and squirming, saying, "I'm not doing shit," and then they get tased, and then they get pissed off, and then here comes a video.
Okay.
And I think that's bullshit. Like that goes with not just black, that goes with white, all of them. I've seen videos of white people getting beat the fuck up. I've seen videos of black people getting beat the fuck up through every fucking race. It's just we only air the black ones. Statistically, yes, the white people are more likely to get shot by cops. Well, yeah, there's more of you. Okay, whatever. Besides the point, we only air black people getting fucked up by cops.
Yeah,
and police brutality. My bad, not to interrupt. Police brutality
fine.
is not just in the sense of police are beating up black people. There's police out there that are literally just fucking brutal to everybody. We just only caught the black one.
Yeah.
Like I've seen just countless videos actually on Live PD where I'm kind of like, that cop's kind of out of line. Like, why are you tripping out? Like, why are you screaming at this dude?
And we saw it was the same cop that showed up to the fucking Mountain Dew meth family.
Yeah.
Right. And he was responding to a call of an armed robbery. And it was these two, like, I think they were 18 and 19. It's funniest shit I've ever fucking seen. This 18-year-old kid who obviously called the cops because he, like, walked up to the cops. He said, "Hey, blah, 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 I'm 18 years old." He said, he, like, explained himself a little bit. And then the other guy showed up and he goes, "Hey, I'm 19. And, like, they're both, one's black, one's mixed, right?
No, one's white, one's mixed.
One was white. The fucking 19-year-old was white.
The one that just chimed in on the conversation.
Yeah, so one's white, one's black. And they start talking, and what they were trying to do was they were trying to sell an AK-47, legally bought by the 18-year-old black kid. He legally bought the AK-47. He's trying to sell it to somebody, trying to sell it to these people. He invited them over to their house. The guys showed up and pointed guns to their head and robbed them. Right, very scary situation. But the cops did not in no manner whatsoever addressed legality, the ownership of the weapon, which, I mean, they're not good at the jobs. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
It's kind of sketchy, but he said he legally bought it.
But yeah. They didn't
ask though.
Yeah, they didn't ask. They didn't push you. Like, you sure you legally bought it? Like, you sure it wasn't a gang? Like, they didn't ask if it was gang related. They didn't ask nothing. It was an armed robbery. It doesn't matter. And that's what I like to see is, like, two white people getting mugged. They both got their wallets stolen. Okay. Black and a white kid. A black kid was trying to sell an AK-47. Okay, armed robbery. Like, it was exact same situation like that I've seen.
They're not asking if he was on drugs. They didn't try to search him. They didn't try to do anything like that.
They didn't try to do anything. They were focused solely, and these are what, 3 white cops, and they were all 3 acting completely professionally. And I wouldn't even say professionally. Like, they were just fucking normal. Yeah. Like, they were just. It was very like, okay, who robbed you? What did they look like? And there was no backlash on the kid for calling the cops, which is fucking awesome.
Right.
And we want to see more of that. Of course, that's not what's you're also talking about what's publicly shown, and a lot of this isn't. And a lot of it's hearsay, and it's weeding out the bullshit versus the factual evidence stuff. And it's hard without. And I really like body cams. I like that we're starting to bring in body cams. I mean, even our town's starting to wear body cams, which is nice. They look fucking weird, but they look
fucking strange.
They're built into their fucking vest.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a GoPro, but like souped up.
When you see another officer look at them, you'll see it looks like a beefy ass GoPro lens. You just see the lens, and it's like on their fucking. It's towards the center of the chest.
MJ cops?
Yeah, there's a couple of them around here that have them. I just.
Maybe don't say it.
China, maybe not say MJ. Nah, nobody's gonna know what MJ is. Don't worry about it. That's Michael Jordan for anybody asking.
Yeah, that's say MJ.
Back to trying to segue back into race. I think, like, since we're still on the whole police thing currently, I don't think police are just inherently abusing people. I think it goes deeper than that. I think it goes back to training.
Yeah,
I don't think they're trained correctly on what to do. I don't think they're trained to be like, hey, just because he's black, maybe let's not tackle him to the ground because this, and this. I think it comes back to training, and I think they need more training with people of color, because I don't want to just say black. Like, it's people of color in general. They need more training on how to deal with it, how to go around this, and that. And I think people need to stop thinking they got pulled over because they're black.
Yeah, and see, that's something
No, you
that
got
like,
pulled over because your tail lights out.
I wanted to talk about was like speaking on training. It's distinguishing. There's a specific word for it, and for whatever reason, it's skipping my mind at the particular point in time. But there is a manner in which people hold themselves. Going back way to the start of the conversation, where I was like, there's a white guy acting a fucking fool, I'm gonna lock my car. If there's a black guy acting a fool, I'm gonna lock my car. It doesn't fucking matter what you look like. If you're acting a fool, I'm gonna lock my fucking car. But the main thing that gets me is Lucy. What's the best way to say it? It's just not. I don't know, man. I keep fucking losing my train of thought. Literally speaking, in terms of how you look and the manners that you hold yourselves in, if everybody listening and y'all both can listen and like look at a group of people and kind of get a very brief judgment on the kind of people that they are. If I say a group of gang members, you already have an image in your head.
Yep.
Fucking bandanas, fucking sagging pants, maybe. They all look like they're packing.
Definitely
just
a face tat or two.
Unfortunately, and I don't know what it is. When I think gang, I think Hispanics and black people, and like gross looking white guys. But like my initial is gang is black and Hispanic individuals, and that's. I like to think that it's because of the demographic that most gangs are in.
Yeah.
Where gangs are brought up, which is poor income housing, which is, you don't like statistics, but, statistically speaking is black, white, Hispanic, or, there's an order to it, and it's the minority is a majority. And going on to training and talking about, how to address, if you see a group of black people, they need to be judged on their manners and how they're holding themselves, not by how they look or how their appearance is. Because you can look like you're, you can have your pants sagging, you can have a fucking do-rag on, you can have your gold chain, your wife beater, and have a fucking strut, But if you're holding yourself nicely, like you're being polite to people, you're being a good fucking human being, I don't believe that there's any reason that anybody should treat you differently.
And that's what I think. I like to think, because I'm arrogant, that I do make a change in some people's way as soon as they look at me, because like I look like that black kid that is gonna steal your stuff. I'll admit it. I do. I look just like the guy. I have 2 chains on. I got dreads. I've got diamond earrings. I wear skinny ripped jeans. I wear big oversized t-shirts, and I'm black. So yeah, I get it. But how I talk to people, like how I look versus how I actually am, are drastically different.
Yeah, you sound white.
Yeah. Like I sound like a white kid. I grew up in a white suburban area.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I first, was starting to interact with people around here, it was kind of like they were standoffish just for a quick second, but then I'm like, I'm a respectable human being.
Yeah, and that's something that like I pride myself on too, and I'm glad that you said that. Is I like to think that people look at me and they see my tattoos, they see my piercings, they're like, oh, this fucking like weird stoner kid, blah 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 blah. They get that initial assumption, and then I start talking to them about philosophies and politics.
What I really think.
And how I really think, and then like that's gone away. One beautiful instance of that. Working for a company, and they invited a company called I can't remember the name of the company, but they sold CBD. They processed industrial hemp into CBD oils to be sold over the counter as tinctures. They did CBD isolate and CBD full spectrum. We'll get into marijuana and hemp in a different day. But they both came out and they were wearing plaid shorts, right? Like think dad shorts.
Yeah, good
They were
dad
wearing
shorts.
baggy, like not like tie dye shirts, but like off color, like weird color shirts, and they had their hair grown out, right? One guy his hair pulled back, one didn't, and they looked like fucking hippies. You know, the typical people you would see selling CBD.
Like they're high walking up here.
Yeah. Then they start talking, and holy shit, did they know what the fuck they were talking? They started talking about chemical structures, chemical compounds, how they did this, how they process
wow.
it, how they test it. They both have fucking PhDs. No, sorry. One had not a PhD. Sorry, excuse me. They both had masters. One had a master in, I want to say botany, and one had like, it was something business related. So one guy was a business aspect, one guy was, one's a brain, one's a brawn, right? One's doing it, one's fucking selling it. And it was nuts because they were like both fucking geniuses in my eyes. But if you looked at them,
You'd have no
you would
idea.
never fucking know. And
That's
that's
just
where
how they like to dress, man.
yeah, and that's where I really, really, really think that we should all, as a whole, fucking step back and give people the chance and look in ourselves and see what we can do to better ourselves, not play victim. And
I hate that. Don't play victim. Going back, I just reminded me. Going back to an earlier conversation, about society. I think, this is gonna come off bad. I'm about to make a lot of black people hate me. I think a lot of people, I think a lot of black people want to be offended. It's so bad. I saw this post on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Cool black _ kid. I think is what it is. I don't know. Anyway, I saw this post, and it was a tweet of a black woman with a wig on and a white woman pointing out how bad the wig was, or how bad it was put on her. She was insulting it. She didn't like the way it looked. And then somebody quoted the tweet and said, a white person insulting how a black woman's wig looks is anti-black and racist, period. And I sat there and I just stared at my phone in complete disbelief that somebody just tweeted that out. Like, you're trying so hard to point a finger at somebody and be mad. What, for what?
Dude,
No,
your
the wig
hair
is
looked
fucking
fucking whack.
horrible.
Yeah, it looked
It looks like trash. It's not racist. It's a fact. It looked bad. Like,
yeah, no, if she was black, it would have been a whole different.
it would have been a
story.
whole different fucking thing. Black and white people wear wigs. Yes, black people do it more, but black and white people wear wigs. I know a bald white bitch right now with a wig on. It's Spencer's sister, Sophia.
Really?
Yeah. She's bald. She cut her hair off. She wears wigs.
That's wild.
Yeah. But sometimes her wigs look bad.
Yeah. We've been running for about an hour and 7 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope that a little bit of weight was taken off your shoulders. Questions were answered. If you have more questions, I would say comfortably, don't be afraid to ask. Talk to somebody that is of a different race. Just have a genuine conversation.
Get educated.
Yeah, get educated.
More importantly, the most important thing you should get out of this whole segment today is if you know somebody of color, no matter what color they are, get educated on them. Ask them questions. They won't be mad.
Yeah,
But don't start your question off as, is this racist?
A lot of the problems in this world can be solved by becoming less ignorant. Fixing the ignorance. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. And like I said, I hope you have a wonderful evening. But this has been Ryzen.
This is Tyrus. Hagen, our guest star.
And Hagen, our guest star.
Every single episode, we will be burning a wick candle, not sponsored, not an ad, but Woodwick. If you hear us, please.
Hear our prayers. Send us all of them. They're so great. Thank you so much.